We asked, was he overrated based upon the series and how he's been playing in this series? The game, it was kind of funny. We gave him his praise, and then out of nowhere, that game just got bad. So it's like when we take days off, the people we give praise to, they actually bounce back. Now, maybe in this segment here, when we talk about the Cavs and ask how they frauds or not, they might win tonight. Because if we say some good things about the Cavs, nah, because then they're gonna look bad. We say some bad things about the Pacers, they might win tonight. But right now, it's looking a little shaky. It's close though. They up 3, so hopefully they can maintain the lead. But the question is, are the Cavs frauds or not? And after the Pacers building that 41-point lead and routing the Cavs after the Cavs stole what's that, game 3? Game 3. And now the series is 3-1 with the Pacers is just looking like they just want to be bullies out there. They just picking fights with everybody. No, wait, no, they just talking basketball. That's what Donovan Mitchell said. The question is, are the Cavs frauds or nah? I'm gonna say they're frauds when it comes to meeting their match. Because we talked about this series a little bit before we actually seen the matchup happen. The Cavs and the Pacers are kind of two teams that kind of balance each other out. Outside of Donovan Mitchell, we would all agree that Ty was going to see. I knew he was going to say something. Shout out to Ty, man, with the 22-month membership. Shout out to the best network. I don't care about no lottery. I don't care about the Carter 3. I don't care about a Honda Odyssey. Those are nice vans, by the way. Pacers in 5. PS in the red corner at 7 tomorrow. I don't care about the Carter 3.
Honda Odyssey. But still, that's so random. The Carter
That
3?
was, though. Oh, man, somebody watching this in the Honda Odyssey like, hey, man, what we do to you? What you say forget us for?
A little Wayne, I'm like, man, why you talk about the Carter 3? I already won in the Super Bowl. You gonna talk about my album? That's messed up.
It's crazy because they actually better win in 5 though. Like, they go win in 5. Cavs can bounce back.
They actually can. I mean, the Cavs can bounce back, but I don't think they win a series. If you go back and hear what what's the name, Garland said in his post conference, like that was insane. This franchise, you forgot about the players. That was
LeBron and Kyrie. Kyrie, Cavaliers came back for one. Not you.
Yeah. But are they frauds? You said what?
So go ahead.
No. Are they frauds? I can't say they frauds. I'm gonna have to go with bad timing. They just went up against a team that made that match. Like I said, the Pacers are putting the press on them. They frauds. They frauds. You can't have the best record in the Eastern Conference, blow teams out all year, get to the playoffs, and then sit up here with after you fired a coach, they got another team to the playoffs and they was playing their hearts out. Yeah, man, y'all frauds. They frauds. They tried to fake it till they made it.
So quick. He was like, nah, they frauds.
They tried to fake it. Yeah, they tried to fake it till they made it, bro. And then they ran into the Pacers who actually wanted it more, and now they out here fighting for their life. They frauds. I don't know what they're gonna do next year. They might come back and do it again next year. Win the Eastern Conference and get into the playoffs, and then here we go having this conversation again. I don't know if the powers of the Knicks transferred over to the Cavs, because this is usually what we see out of the Knicks when they get to the next round. They start tanking it, but it's the Cavs this year. So I'm saying they frauds, fellas.
Yeah, yes. Yes. A resounding yes. Yes, they're frauds. The Cavaliers were considered the best team in the Eastern Conference all season long. Record-wise, at least. You know, most people still were picking the Celtics to beat them and to get to the finals, but people were at least expecting them to get to the conference finals to face the Celtics. And that doesn't even look like the case. And we can't give them the injury excuse because game 1, they were all there. Game 2, even though Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter didn't play, they were up 20 points in that game. And they still lost it. So you can't blame the injury on that. He came back game 3. You know, they won the game by double digits. Tyrese Halliburton had his worst game in the playoffs. And then here come game 4, and they get blown out. They were down by 40 at halftime. So, I mean, yes, they're frauds. You can't have the best record and be down 3-1. And not only were you down 3-1, you basically lost the game by 40 points. I know the game said 20, but you pretty much lost by 40 points. Like once they hit 40, you weren't catching up. No one else was able to really do much. They couldn't hit from three. Strus hit a couple shots here and there. Darius Garland, he didn't look the same, but he was out there playing. So I mean, we going to give him the injury excuse even though he was out there playing? He was playing. Bennett and Matherin got himself kicked out the game, punching DeAndre Hunter, and then acting like he ain't do nothing wrong after he got pushed. So yes, they're frauds. And I think I want to bring up this question.
Okay.
Do you think that they were wrong for firing JB Bickerstaff now? Because they essentially did that because JB Bickerstaff couldn't get them past the second round. And look at it now. They're not getting past the second round again. So was it JB Bickerstaff? Is it really on him? I don't know. I mean, JB Bickerstaff went and got the Pistons to the playoffs after they had the worst record in the NBA last season. So I want to give some credit to JB Bickerstaff because they pretty much made him the scapegoat for what happened for them not getting what they needed to last season. They pretty much got the same squad other than DeAndre Hunter. And what are they really going to do? I don't know. But yes, they're absolutely frauds. You can't have the best record in the second best record in the NBA, and you're down 3-1. If it was 2-2, okay, that's one thing. If you can at least get it to 7 and you lose by a bucket or something like that, you can't call them frauds. But you down 3-1 and you got dominated. You're getting dominated by the Pacers, a team that are not the Pacers. A lot of people said the Pacers had a Mickey Mouse run to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. A lot of people said they were frauds. They were sweet. And now look at what's happened with them. They are cooking the Cavaliers. Like, it's without question that they look like the better team, the more hungry, the more ready team in the playoffs right now. So yes, they are frauds.
Do you think that they should never fire them?
Yeah, I don't think they should have fired him.
Okay. I mean, the Pacers are pretty good though. I mean,
they are.
I think they probably would have. Miami would have been a tougher matchup for them if JB Bickerstaff was there. In my opinion.
For who?
For the Cavs. Yeah, the reason why the Cavs were good this year because their offense got much better. They were the number one three-point shooter team because of the spacing on the floor they created to get open looks. Kenny Atkins also is a protege from Steve Kerr. He was on Steve Kerr's bench for years and he was with the Nets and went to Steve Kerr, him and Mike Brown, and now he's his own coach again with the Cavs and implemented kind of the same system almost. And they get a lot of open looks. He decreased the minutes of the Donovan Mitchell this season, all that stuff. So Kenny Atkins, in my opinion, is a better coach than JB Bickerstaff. JB Bickerstaff was the right coach. Don't forget, Kenny Atkins is the same coach with D'Lo as his best player to the Nets to the playoffs, just like he did Detroit. So, and we all think Cade is better than D'Lo. I think we all agree with that, right? D'Lo was an all-star that year too.
He was.
So Kenny Atkins is also good.
I'm not saying Kenny Atkins is a bad coach. I'm not saying that. I never said that.
No, you're not saying. I never say you say it's bad, but you said they should have fired JB. I think they did the right move and got Kenny.
So it looks like a lateral move so far.
So well,
same result.
Well, here's the thing.
Better results in the regular season, same results in the playoffs.
It's not, but just like you said, Tomo, hearing Darius Garland's comments, I know you mentioned, like, what about the players, right? Not the franchise. What about the players? Forget the coach. What about the players? It's the same core that I saw get blown out by the Knicks in the second round. Like, look, against the Knicks, they lost a combined points of 42, and right now they lost a combined points of 30 to Indiana. I don't like how the Cavs are going out in the playoffs when they lose. And this is the core. And we got to start asking a question. Donovan Mitchell, I think you're a superstar. I think you show up in big moments. But can we put him in that category with the point guards? Like, is he too, like, a small guy to win a championship? Like, think about it. To be the best, like another Dame. Do we have to be I'm about to say plan B. Do you have to be a second best player for him to win a championship? Because this is multiple times Donovan Mitchell has been on number one seed. Multiple times. And he hasn't really gotten far past the second round his whole career.
It's about to be 8 times that he's been in the playoffs and he hasn't got past second. That's more than Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid has been hurt more than he has. So
And these Cavs teams are way better than those Jazz teams he was on.
yeah,
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It is. You know, so now what I don't like about these Cavs is they in these playoffs, they're losing their identity against the Pacers. All right. That like they turn the ball over a lot. Like this look like the last game. They were so stagnant on offense. There were no ball movement. I mean, at one point, what was the stat? The daggone Pacers had 25 assists, something like that. And the Cavs only had 3 at one point.
Yeah.
And at one point, the Pacers had like 20-something points in the paint, and the Cavs had like 2. It was so great. That just tells you they just look like the Cavs became a live by the 3 and down by the 3 type team. When the 3-point shot is not falling, just like the Celtics, they don't look the same. So one thing I will say this, Dave, with the Cavs loss from JB, I want to say loss because they I want to say even say that. I'm about to say lost their toughness, but this is how they look. I wouldn't say lost their toughness because JB in their first year in the playoffs, they didn't look tough against New York. New York beat them up. But I will give them credit against Boston. Last year without Donovan Mitchell, they looked tougher. They actually did. But they lost their toughness in this playoff series right here with Indiana. They really did. Mm-hmm. And this is a much better team, like Tomo said. They went and got DeAndre Hunter and all that stuff midseason. So are they frauds, though, to answer the question? I would say they just not ready yet. We assume that they had their playoff bumps. But really, did this core have their playoff bumps? This is a third playoff run. They haven't gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals yet. You know, and really, last year, we can't really count that because Donovan Mitchell got hurt. So they really haven't really, like, been through the fire with Donovan Mitchell. You can kind of, I guess you can count it, but they haven't really been through the fire with Donovan Mitchell enough. So I would give them next year. I think next year they'll be much better. But this Indiana Pacers team, they are very well coached. Rick Carlisle, man. I'm not gonna lie, he's doing his thing.
Very well coached. He got them boys running.
What did she say when they came out there? I thought you was, what is it, Charles Barkley? You just a wannabe, man. Get out of here. And that's what the Pacers is doing right now. They like, get out of here. You can't run with us.
And this is a question that was going on all season. Are the Cavs for real? Doesn't look like they are.
Everybody compares to Atlanta Hawks. I won't call them the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks, I don't think nobody felt like they were going to do it. One thing about the difference between the Hawks and the Cavs, they actually got a guy that could take you home. And Donovan Mitchell got them a dub because he took them home. He dropped 48. So
you hold up.
Shout out to Kevo, $1.99 super chat. Shout out to Steve S. Nico. Hashtag fire Nico for Luca. Hashtag exciting lights.
Whoa. Hey,
wow. Take that comment down, bro.
Exciting lights.
Wow.
I mean, that's why I turned my hat backwards. It's the only time you don't want to talk about Dallas. And look, now he want to be a Dallas fan.
I know, right? I know.
Well, it seems like you guys may have found your superstar. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say, well, he didn't put hashtag Dallas, so technically he's not saying Dallas.
He tried to throw some bad juju in the NFL chat. I see what he was doing, but don't bring them bad vibes over here.
I heard that.
Yeah. Don't bring them bad vibes over here. So everybody had number one pick.
He said they're gonna win 2 games against the